So, hello everyone. Today we're going to see the question design Twitter that I don't know why has been tagged medium over your lead code, but this is truly a hard question in your Heaps playlist, in your Heaps questionnaire. So let's just see the question statement first. Design a simplified version of Twitter where user can post tweets, follow, unfollow another user, and things like able to see the most important part, able to see 10 most recent tweets, right? I believe that is the trickiest part of this the entire question when you have to see it. So let's just see. So Twitter is what that initializes your Twitter object, and then you have another function, post tweet, that is going to compose a new tweet with ID, tweet ID. And this tweet ID is what we have to return when we have to return 10 most recent, right? And recent by time. If I ask you at this instant, the last 10 tweets is the tweet IDs are what you are going to return to me. Then follow. If I say follower ID and followee ID, this follows this, right? So your follower ID, they started following the person with the given followee ID. And the follow is also same in this hyped social network platform. I don't, social network websites and everything is so super hyped. I don't think I have to tell you what is the meaning of follow, what is the meaning of unfollow. Everybody, I believe, watching this playlist is self-sufficient with that. So let's just go. So what do you think we have to define all? First thing that we have to define is with the tweets, when it comes to tweets, what do we need? We need time, who posted or who tweeted this thing, and what is the tweet ID, because we have to return the tweet ID and not its content. Just the tweet ID is what the question demands, right? So what do? We have to map a user. We have to map a user to what? To a tweet with its time and the tweet ID. And when I say you have to map this user to this, you already know what you have to do. You have to make an unordered map, right? With what? Int. Int is what? The user ID. And then a vector. Why vector? Because one user can tweet various tweets. And that vector is what? Pair of time and tweet ID. I hope this makes sense, right? And then I have an account of follower to followee, right? Who is following whom? So what? This is a person follower and he follows a set of followees. Now you'll be wondering, why is she using set here? Why is she not using vector here? Because your set, because I have to add in and I also have to remove, right? Your follow part and your unfollow part. So the set gives me average of O1, that is constant for insertion and for deletion. Average time complexity. Whereas if I had been using vector int here, what I had to do is I have to go to the end of the list and then append, right? Append the new following. And then if I have to remove, I have to just linearly search through and then just remove from there. So that is why I'm using set, and I'll be using unordered set. I don't need an ordered set, right? I just need an unordered set for this. And how do I have to define it? I have to define a map because I have to map a follower to the list of followees. And what is that list? It is just my unordered set. What do I call this? I call this follow map. And then I have a time counter, that is int time. Why do I need this? To sort it on the basis of the most recent tweets. Because when I need 10 tweets, I need the most recent 10 tweets. And that recent is decided by the time factor. So with this, I'm good with the constructor part. The Twitter part has been done. Let's just go to post tweet function now. Okay. I'll use the pen that shows a little difference. So what is post tweet function and what are the parameters? So post tweet function, they say it has a user ID and it has a tweet ID. So what do I have? I have a user ID and then I have a tweet ID. Make sense? Does that make sense? Yes, that does make sense, right? So what I have to do, I don't need a follow map here because nothing, I just have to post a tweet. And when I have to post a tweet, which I have to use, I have to, I did not define it. Okay. This is my tweet map. So I just need my tweet map right here, right? I just need my tweet map, and then corresponding to that user ID, what do I have to do? I have to, because it's a vector, I have to push back. Push back what? You have to push back two things one time. After you have added time here, what do you do? Time plus plus. Because next time you're going to take the next instant. If this is one second, right? I'm posting something. The other second, another body has to post something, or I can only post, but the time has to increase by one instance. And then what? Tweet ID. Sorted? Very good. So we're done with the post tweet also. Now get news feed is a little tricky part, and I'll be doing that post your follow and unfollow. So let's just see your follow. For follow, you have to keep one thing in your mind, very clear one thing, that self-follow is not allowed and you have to prevent self-follow. So what do you have in follow the given arguments? You have a follower ID and you have a followee ID. Make sense? And how do you prevent self-follow? If follower ID is not equal to followee ID, what do? You just have to add this. And what is there to add? You have a set. How do you add into set? You insert into a set. So corresponding to this follower ID, what do you insert? You insert followee ID. Make sense? Make sense. Now what? Void unfollow. Similar thing. When you have to erase from a set, what can you do? You have to use the erase function. What function do we have? Like in stack, we have push and pop. In set, we have insert and erase. Okay, this is together only. So how do you do that? Follow map is what you're going to use. Follower ID dot erase what? Follow EID. Make sense? Makes sense. So we're done with follow, we're done with unfollow, we've defined the constructor. Now what we have to do? We have to write the function for what? We have to write the function for the get news feed. What is the tricky part in the get news feed function? We need the 10 most recent tweets, right? And those 10 recent tweets have to be from whom? If I am the person, I follow you, I follow A, I follow B, then I have to get 10 recent tweets from the cumulated bucket of my tweets, your tweets, A tweets, B tweets. That is from the cumulated bucket of me and the people I follow. So for this, I'm sorry, let's just go to this. So what do you have to return? Okay, let's just change the color so that we have a difference. Yeah. You have to return a vector int. And what is that? You have to make get news feed function. What does that get news feed function has as arguments? What do you have given to it? You have given user ID. Because user ID can map to the tweet ID and user ID can map to the followees as well. Now I'm going to define here the priority queue. Now just think, which priority queue am I going to use? Pair, obviously, because time and tweet. Time is what I have to do the sorting on and tweet is what I have to return. Makes sense? Now, why did I use max heap? Let's say 1, 2, 3, I'm on 20th second, sorry. I'm on 20th second, let's suppose right now. So if somebody asks me 10 recent tweets, what are the 10 recent tweets? The tweets starting from 19, 18, 17, 16. What is the most recent tweet? The one that was made on the 19th second was the most recent tweet. Do you get that? And how did I get that? By the top. And why did I use heap? I want to find top k elements. Do you get that? the elements that have the top times. If I have to sort it as per time, I want it to be in the descending order, biggest to smallest. Makes sense? And that is why I'm using heap, and that is why I'm using max heap. So what do you have to put in? Now see, first I have to put my tweets. Put my tweets. How do you put your tweets? For auto. Why am I using auto? Anybody? Can you think why am I using auto? So tweet map corresponding to, how am I defined user ID? Okay, tweet map corresponding to user ID has what? Tweet map corresponding to user ID has your this pair. And if I don't want to define this pair right here, I'll use auto. Make sense? And then I just have to do one thing. I have to do priority queue dot push tweet. Make sense? And then I have to also push put my followy people tweets. All the people I followed, their tweets also I have to add in. So first I have to add a for loop that is going to take my followee IDs one on one. I'm going to iterate over this. Make sense? And then inside, I'm going to run the same above for loop that says for auto and tweet map. But here, what is it? Followee ID. I hope something or the other thing you're able to crack of how we're doing this. And then normal your priority queue dot push into tweet. I hope it makes sense. It's not that tough a question. It's just that you have to imply all your brains into this, right? And now what do you have to do? We have to return a vector. Return, right? So what you have to define? Vector int. Let's say you define it as result. For auto, sorry. You can have auto, no issues with that also. Just to say, keep it simple. I0, I less than 10, I plus plus. Now your priority queue has what? Your priority queue has time. Your priority queue has tweet ID. Sorry. Yeah. So what I have to put? Res dot pushback priority queue dot top. What do I need? I need second. Make sense? And then I'm going to do priority queue dot pop. Make sense? Make sense. And then I'm going to return. Return what? Return res. With this, I think I'm good with it. Are you able to understand what and how all the things were done? Right? So let me just write a compiled up code. I'll not be writing anything. I'm just going to tell you how are you going to write a compiled code. So we know the class was Twitter because the constructor name was Twitter. So in class Twitter, you defined your int time. Then you defined your follow map. Then you defined your tweet map. Make sense? Then let's write your constructor. Your constructor, be very careful. I know you're not going to make these mistakes when you're writing it up on the compiler, on the screen, basically, is what I mean. So constructor, the same name as the function. And what? Time 0. Make sense? And then what? Post. Then you can just make in post tweet function, follow function, unfollow function. What was the function name? Rest, get what? Get news feed function, and then your class ends. Make sense, everybody? This is how you're going to do it. So if you have any concerns, please, that's at a request. Please make use of your comments box. Please make use of the G-form attached. If you want me to solve any other question that is not from even from the heaps playlist, or even if it is from the heaps, just post that question there. I will be, I'll be glad to take up that question for you. And if you want me to re-clarify something or make a video up on something again, it's just completely fine. Just let me know on all those things. So the most common question that I had on this is that why we're using set for the follow map, right? We're not using it for the tweet map, then why for the follow map? For the follow map, you know already, right? I've told you because we have to add in also, we have to remove in also the fast lookup for having it in the constant time complexity average case. I'm using set, right? And then we don't need an ordered set, right? Because an ordered set has your log n operations, while your unordered set, it has constant time complexity average operations. So we go for unordered set because we don't have to do anything with the order here. Makes sense? Now let's just come to your time complexity. So for the time complexity, we know. For post tweet, what are you doing? For the post tweet, you're just adding up into the vector. So I can call this as O of 1 amortized complexity. For your follow, I can just say it is O of 1. Again, it's just an addition. For unfollow, it is again O of 1. Make sense? Makes sense. For the news feed now you have to think. Now let's say T is the number of my tweets. So when I'm pushing it, it would be T log T. Make sense? Because for one, we have log T tweets, we have log T. Now, I also have my followee people tweets. Now, let's say I have K followees, each with N tweets. Now, you will say, do all have to post N tweets? No. I'm just taking an average case where N is the average number of, tweets everybody has posted. So, what is my N? N is my total tweets. So my total tweets become what? My total tweets become T plus K into N. Make sense? Now, for one tweet, the insertion is log N. For N tweets, it becomes N log N. So the complexity here is N log N. Then for returning time, I need 10 tweets to be popped. So 10 tweets to be popped, 10 log N. So how much does it become in the end? The total complexity becomes O of n log n plus O of 10 log n. That makes it O of n log n. I hope you're able to get this. If any concerns, please post in the comment section. And if you were able to extract even 10% of the video, or even, if you found the video helpful to solve this question up, if you want me to take up any other thing, so if you found the video helpful, just go and like the video, subscribe to the channel because I'll be bringing more videos. I think I'm just left with one question on the heaps. And then we're legit going on to the heaps part of heapify, heap sort and everything. So yeah, with this, thank you so much for your time and bye-bye. Bye-bye.